do you balance all of that?
I just started recording. I don't know if you want to ask that again or not. I wasn't before, if we were just talking casually, but
sure, no problem at all. No problem at all. Megan, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. We're here with Chad Kofal from Jaunty, also known as Jaunty Chad. What's going on, guy?
What's up, guys? Great job with the last name. Usually takes a little bit before someone gets it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, more than you'd think.
How many times do you think, Megan?
Oh, I mean, probably all the time. I think the way that I just said that's a stupid question. Why did you just ask me that? I heard myself. It's like I take reservations as my day job. And so I say a lot of complicated last names all the time. So I sound it out and people are always like, oh, you said it right. So yeah.
Well, you'd be shocked. You hear you hear everything.
My brother's name is Kieran, but people used to call and ask for Sierran. And you're like, actually, it makes sense when you sound it out.
Right. Yeah, no,
that does make sense. That does make sense.
Can't get mad at all, because it does. Yeah, where the people are coming from. A lot of times, the mispronunciations go for it.
Hey, I'm good with the first name basis.
You're good with that first name basis. I mean, you're known in the industry as Jaunty Chad. So, I mean, I want to know, what is so jaunty about you?
It's what's not jaunty about me. So besides my workplace, I work for Jaunty, the cannabis company in New York. But I like to have good vibes, Jaunty kind of encompasses that. It's kind of just good vibes. Just kind of, keeping a good attitude about things.
I like that. Keeping a good attitude about things, much like keeping a good attitude about Google and not having Google Premium.
Yeah, that's you eventually, in a perfect world, every software will be free. There won't be those add-ons. We can record a Google Meet if we want to without having to pay an extra couple $100 a year.
Wait, I got something for you, Megan. You will appreciate this. So I'm getting ready for this big storm of the century or whatever it's supposed to be. So I'm in CVS. I'm getting snacks. I'm like Seth Rogen in Pineapple Express. Get the snacks. So I get all the snacks. I do the checkout. Everything's good. I get the bag and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. This bag is a little tiny for a bag with handles. So I get all my stuff and I get to I see an associate or whatever. And I'm like, hey, is it okay if I get another bag? And I'm like, also, is it me or are these bags getting smaller? They're like, yes, they are. I was like, what? The shrinkflation is hitting the bags.
That's what I'm saying. You go to anywhere, you go to Burger King, I don't do fast food often, but when I do, you see over the years, everything just kind of shrinking. No, thankfully though, we're starting to see sort of the opposite in cannabis in New York.
Wait a minute. What is the opposite?
Well, this might be anecdotal, but I'm seeing as the industry kind of matures more and more, you see, your eighths kind of coming down. You see the oils coming down. Not that we're all looking for a race to the bottom, but from a consumer's point of view, I'll take the lower price for some fire. I'll never complain about that. But hey, I don't know what it looks like scientifically, but if we see that kind of, I'll take smaller cheeseburgers for a cheaper eighth any day.
I got you. Okay, I dig that. Now before we started recording, we were casually chatting, and congratulations on your newborn.
Thank you.
Your growing family and all that good stuff. And one of the first questions I wanted to ask you was, how are you balancing your family responsibilities and your plant life responsibilities? How do you put those two, in line with each other?
For sure. So, I mean, like any other job, I'm going to be gone for the day. We, thankfully enough, have very, very good family to be there, watch them when my wife can't. Obviously, this new one being kind of thrown in is a different story. We'll kind of go with that as day by day. But like any other job, you go to work. This job, just by nature, you are kind of working longer hours. The way I like to explain it is I live in the Rochester area, but my territory is Rochester, Finger Lakes, Buffalo, all the way down to Jamestown. So I got about 100 shops right now that I'm kind of taking care of. So you think, say, Rochester to Buffalo is about hour and a half. So I might work my 8-hour day, but then you account in driving. So hour and a half there, hour and a half back. It ends up being longer days. Thankfully, because of this industry, and maybe it's just my job, but I have the freedom to sort of leave later in the day if I want to. So I'll usually spend the mornings with my son, get back at a decent hour. He's kind of a late sleeper. So, you know, I feel like even with this job, I'm able to sort of balance kind of between nights and mornings. It does kind of provide that flexibility. With two, we'll see how that ends up going. But it definitely, you know, thankfully, I love my job. So I always compare it to, you know, I've worked every other kind of job in the past. Right before this, I was working in an HR office at a college doing like recruiting stuff. And the difference between working a full day sitting at a desk, you know, in front of a computer in a dark room with maybe one window if you're lucky, compared to on the road driving, you know, last year I drove, I believe it was like just short of 50,000 miles.
What?
So, you know, always basically living in the car. So, I mean, it's definitely, you got to love what you do. And I love what I do. So it doesn't seem like work, as cliche as that sounds. But if it was any other circumstance, I don't know if I'd be able to handle it as well as I have been.
I got you. Then let me ask you this. Like, do you ever encounter people that want to work in cannabis and they have like this fantasy or whatever, what it's like, and they don't really know that you got to be like a road warrior in this?
You know what? I see both ends of the spectrum. So I see those kind of people who really want cannabis. Maybe they've had, you know, some black market experience. Maybe they don't have any experience like that. They just really like the plant. I think there's kind of this gap where just because it's cannabis and just because I might love the job doesn't mean that, you know, it's not at times a stressful job, that you really got to put in the work, that you got to grind. I think sometimes it gets conflated that just because I like what I do, that it makes it easier. And to some level it does, but at the same time, you're still grinding. Like you said, road warrior. Like, I'm on the road, I'm driving, I'm talking to people, you know, long day, you do 10 hours of talking to people, your social battery. Some days are just, you know, I'll be driving home from Buffalo and just listen to a podcast and zoning out on the road. But I mean, you know, it's I love it. Like it's hard to say. I've seen people who actually come in because of that thought. I love cannabis, I'll be able to do this, and they give it a couple months and they're worn out, which is totally understandable. I think when you kind of take a new industry like this to in New York, there's a lot of unknowns. So, you know, the New York market is different than the Massachusetts market, different than Colorado, California. And so you can kind of look to those states for some guidance, but at the same time, everyone who's in the industry right now, whether it's bud tenders, in the field, sales, cultivators, we're the pioneers out here kind of paving this new industry. How often does a new industry pop up? You know, you don't get a new paper industry popping up. You don't get these other things. So it's a very rare instance. So I think with a lot of those unknowns, it's not that easy to just do a Google search of what this job is going to be like, because there's really no kind of history of that. But then on the other side of the spectrum, I see people who will kind of, you know, come into the industry to, you know, do one thing or another. Right. And maybe they do love everything, but it's
that one thing.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't like driving, it's going to be a hard job for you. You might love every other thing about this job, but there's certain things you can't really ignore with it, you know?
I get you. And I'll tell you right now, outside my window, there's a lot of people right now that don't like driving. Between the hours of like 2 and 7, the horns are going bananas, Megan. It is pandemonium right now.
Yeah, if I had to drive to work all the time, I mean, I work from home right now, and the thought of even getting on a train to go into an office is a nightmare. And that I don't even have to be in control of. It's just that's like, for me, I just feel like my mind is going so much. And then when I'm in the car and like getting that downtime, and I'm like, oh, now I'm nervous, I'm going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Well, as I get older, yeah, when I'm tired, I'm tired. Yeah. So me driving is more a safety concern in my heart.
You see, there's tricks though that you start to learn. So I have like set playlists that if I'm 10 minutes from, say I'm doing an activation, so I'm setting up a table, I got to talk to a lot of people. You turn it on and it just has you jamming. By the time you get there, you roll into the parking lot, just, you know, singing along, you're good to go. There's certain things that you can find for yourself to really help with that kind of, I guess, zoning out that might happen after a while.
I guess
So
deep down, if I had to, then I would do it. But I think deep down, I don't want to. Because I also grew up on Long Island. So I used to drive all the time. And
But-
so I'm like, I've sat in traffic. And I'm good. I logged my
It is a little different though when you're driving to your office versus having almost your car be your office. It kind of takes out that travel aspect and it kind of turns into it is what it is, sort of.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hitting spots in between that driving. You know, you go to your car, you fill out your reports, you do your stuff, answer some emails, then you're on to the next dispensary. I'm
sorry to cut you off.
No,
Let me
don't
ask
get
you this question now. You just said your car, your office. So now is your office like spotless, immaculate?
Yes. It's like that beginning of the week. I'll say that. By the end of the week, it's a different story. I mean, a lot of my counterparts, they do keep spotless cars. I'm sort of more of a scattered brain individual. So, I kind of section it off where end of the week, I'll kind of clean up everything. I'll throw things away. Obviously, I'll throw things throughout the week, but you got to think too, like basically my car is for my job right now. I have, even something like this, marketing merchandise.
Where does that go?
It goes right in your mouth. No,
I know.
No. So like, part of my job is doing displays, training bud tenders, kind of just general education about the plant. So, my car is full of glorifiers, displays, dummy packaging. So everything is sort of in its set spot. So just by the nature of kind of, if I'm rushing to one place from another, I might throw something in my trunk and have to, kind of pick up at the end of the day. But it's kind of that mixed with, you're dunking on the road, your coffee cups. It just, for me at least, it may not be as tidy as I'd want, but it's comfortable.
What would be your strategy? Let's say Meghan was going to be a rep. What would be your strategy for Meghan?
Well, I would start with seeing what Meghan's kind of style is. Is she a very organized person? Is she someone who doesn't really mind so much about that? If it's more general, I would say have your places that you can, outside of your car, you can sit and do some of your work. So I might be in Buffalo for a full day. I have my set coffee spots. I'll sit there for an hour or two, set up, get my food, get my coffee, answer emails. I do all of the content for Jaunty as well. So, it's important for me at least to find a good spot to edit. So if we have videos that I'm editing, having two kids at home now, home isn't necessarily the best place for me to edit.
Right.
So finding a nice cafe, finding a nice spot I can go set up my computer, kind of not have to stress about anything, sit there for as long as I need, get my work done. Having a couple of those on your radar, I definitely would recommend. I'd say definitely keep stuff in your car that you're going to need. So chargers, snacks, water. You don't want to always stop and pick up water at the gas station. It adds up over time, your coffees. So have your things that you kind of want with you. Man, I've started keeping weights in my car just so in between drives, I can try to get something in. Well, you're sitting so long, your body will start to cramp, So like I'll pull over at a rest stop and do some curls or try to just get my body stretched out a little bit.
Now, how important are these strategies for your reps? Do you have like a team of reps or is it just you?
So we have a team of reps. I would say probably the best team of reps on the market. I might be biased to that, but we have a really, really, really good team. So the way we split it up, I've been with Jaunty for about 1.5 years now. When I started, it was really only about 3 of us for the state, give or take. So maybe 4, but my territory when I started was Syracuse down to Binghamton. So Ithaca, Cortland, Rochester, Finger Lakes, Buffalo, Jamestown. So basically Syracuse down to Binghamton and over. since then, thankfully, we've been growing enough where we were able to kind of create a new territory. We hired Alyssa, who's amazing. So she's doing that now. We have Lex for, central area. So she'll cover Albany to Syracuse now. We got Lauren, Kate, and Bree down for Long Island, the city. And so that's about it for our reps. We every rep kind of sales reps. And so, sorry, going back to your original question. I honestly knowing the rest of my team, I don't think my method would work for any of them.
What?
Wait
a minute. What was all that advice you just gave Megan?
That's advice for me. That's what helps me out. I think a lot of the general.
You're like, I'm going to tell you how I do it. Now you take everything that I say and now make it yours. I feel like I have the same kind of management strategy.
Well, and I only
say what I do. It's not always right.
But I only say that because I know, even for instance, Lex, who's our central rep, Alexis. She is the most type A person you'll ever meet. Or she owned an organization business before this. Everything she has is tight. It's wrapped up. It's in its spot. Not necessarily
coordinated. The highlighters make sense. I hate it when a type A person thinks that they're like, or I'm sorry, a self-proclaimed type A person. They'd be like, this does come from a very real example. They'd be like, no, I'm a type A. And then you look at their paperwork and you're like, your color coordination makes absolutely no sense. It makes sense to me. Yeah, that's great. Okay.
Right. That's something else.
To me, yeah,
it makes something else. That's a different conversation. Oh my goodness, dude, they're just doing it just to have all the colors in the highlighters rainbow.
Yeah, they want to make it look like they're organized. It's takeout, and then nobody can take over their job. They try to do it for job security as well.
I've seen that before. I've definitely seen that. Not in this industry, but like I've run across those people.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah.
But like, I want to ask you. So you're doing the sales rep thing, Jaunty, for a year and a half now. Jaunty specializes mainly in concentrates, correct?
So vapes and concentrates. What I like to tell people is essentially everything but flower right now. So we do edibles, we do concentrates, we have live rosin, live resin. Our bread and butter is distillates, so we do those in the 1 grams, 1.5 grams, all cannabis-derived terpene blends. So you're gonna taste the strain you're getting. That's always been one of my things. Is obviously no hate to any other companies who do this out here. Just for me shopping, if I pick up a Pineapple Express, let's say vape for example, I want to taste the strain. I don't want a pineapple tasted vape, and if I do, call it something else. If that makes sense.
Call it fruit salad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So ours, at least, when you have them, we right on the front, we put what terpenes are on there. And what I like about that, cool party trick, actually. So after tasting a bunch of our 1 grams, because they're so accurate to the actual taste of the strain, and we list what terpenes are on there, I can actually kind of smoke specific strains now and be able to pinpoint a lot of the terpenes. So I can be at a sesh somewhere and smoke something and be like, hey, bet you if you look this up right now, it'd have myrcene, farnesene, and kind of do it. And a lot of the times I'm right, but like it kind of is a growing thing.
Let me get this straight. So Megan and I, we have a party for the Bake Sale Session podcast. We invite you. Now, are we putting this party trick on display, or are we letting it go incognito?
I think it has to happen naturally. I think it has to kind of work into conversation, because if I'm wrong, that's just even more embarrassing. But if it's more casual, just, hey, I taste a lot of limonene in this one. like kind of throw it out as more low-key knowledge rather than like spectacle, because most of the time I'm probably going to be wrong, but I've definitely hit some good ones every now and then.
So I can't be like, hey, have you met my friend Jaunty Chad? He knows all the terpenes. Ask him.
Well, I know the terpenes. I just don't know if I could guess them based off. You know what? We'll do this in a year, and I'll work on it until then, and yes. I'll have a different answer for you.
I kind of like. I want to introduce you to like the crowd in almost like a circus way. Be like, ladies and gentlemen, you'll never believe this. Where we have Jaunty Chad, who will tell us Each strand, yep.
He will tell us each strain.
And you have to jump through a hoop too.
Oh, you know what? Next year I'll bring the hoops and everything. We'll do it.
What?
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Jaunty
Yeah.
Chad.
You heard it. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Jaunty Chad.
I don't. Yes.
You're a rebel. You're a real. You're a bad guy. But now I got to ask you a question. So you were talking about the distillates and the concentrates, but now I didn't even realize you guys were doing edibles.
Yeah. So we have two different kinds right now. We do live rosin gummies, which are my favorite. I go between them. I can't say it's my favorite. I like them a lot. So for those ones, it's a fresh press rosin. What I like about them is we say what strain of rosin are going into the gummies. So a lot of gummies you might just get, they might say live rosin on it, but it's just a kind of a general live rosin. You know it's going to be full spectrum. With ours, we tried to match the specific strain profiles with the flavor that we made the gummies. So my favorite of those would be strawberry jam, and we use a strain that we did called Rated R with that. So a lot of those flavors in the rosin kind of blend in with that strawberry jam kind of taste. It all works together really nicely. And then we do more effect-based gummies, and these are my most used ones probably. So with these ones, they're quick-acting, nano-emulsified, but they have ratios of minor cannabinoids in them. So we have one that's going to be, 10 milligrams THC, 10 milligrams THC, 10 milligrams CBG, 10 milligrams CBD. We got one that's, 10 THC, 20 CBD. Depending on what kind of end goal you want your kind of session to end up, you can kind of find that with those ones. And because of the quick acting, I feel like I don't know if it's in my head that they kind of affect me more. It might just be more effect based. I say you came up to me, I'm at a pop-up, you want to know what kind of gummy to get. I would ask you, are you looking for more of that full spectrum, just trying to get kind of like super heavy, full body, mind, just chill back, old school kind of high? Or do you have kind of a goal for your high? Do you want to chill? Do you want to sleep? Do you want to be more upbeat? Our Dreamberry gummies. So my tolerance is typically pretty high with edibles. I'll take 2 of our Dreamberries. They're 10 milligrams each. They got 10 milligrams THC, CBN, and CBD. I'll be out in 45 minutes, like cold, like eyes shut, falling asleep.
35 minutes.
35, 45, as opposed to maybe like hour and a half, depending on what you eat. But they work extremely well for putting me out. Just kind of that natural kind of sleepiness. And what I like is because they're fast acting, they hit you faster, but then it's out of your system by the time you wake up. So you don't wake up with kind of that CBN grogginess or anything like that.
Oh, that's delightful.
Oh, it's so nice, especially for someone who is a total insomniac like I am. I would stay up all night every night if I could. It seems like it's been like that for the past month now, but no,
wow.
Definitely.
But you know what's funny? You're talking about the past month, and this month is January, and this January has been a long year, Megan.
It's a lot. Yesterday I was like, there's 11 more days in this month. There's already been 57. I don't understand. There's so many more days still left.
Dude. Oh man.
But I do have to say, I tried the blueberry lemonade. A few weeks ago. That was real nice.
That one's got that THCV in it, which you don't see as much in edibles, but it's one of my favorite cannabinoids. It's got that minor appetite suppressant, so you won't get crazy munchies. The way I explain that one is like, you wake up in the morning, you have your cup of coffee, just kind of gets you feeling good, euphoric and uplifted without all those jitters that like coffee or caffeine might give you. One of my favorites. That one's really nice.
Dude, Megan, so wait, how did that work out for you? That what was it called again?
Blueberry lemonade.
Yeah, how did that work out for you, dude?
I'm doing great in life.
Oh wait, you're doing it now?
No, I already finished those. I've been I got my wisdom tooth out last month, so I still haven't smoked since there. While I'm just waiting for everything to completely heal. So I've been in edible land.
Lifesaver.
It's been
edibles
really nice.
Are a lifesaver,
and I've been trying to like try different things. Like right now, I have the Harney Harney Brothers. Their peach black tea.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
one of my favorite drinks on the market. They make excellent drinks.
It was the first time
Dude.
trying theirs. I got that one and the hibiscus today from Flowery.
Ooh, dude, you got to get the those tea sachets.
That's gonna be next. You know, gotta go a little bit slower. But the more I'm going into edibles, I'm like, am I gonna go back to smoking? What's going on?
Hey, listen, you're going to be ambidextrous, Megan.
That's
okay.
that's
You
right.
got flour, you got edibles, you are covered.
Yeah.
Adaptability. That's what it's all about.
I mean, you're covered, dude. I can do the edibles, but I love the flour. And
Let's just take a moment too, and just how great is it that we have these options available to us right now? I mean, at the end of the day, like the fact we can have this conversation and, you know, oh, these edibles and I like dabs. Maybe I'll do dabs today. I want some flour. Like that's something now we can just do and it's fine.
Yes.
How crazy is that?
That's what I'm talking about. Megan, you're going to appreciate this, my friend, because I gave myself a treat today.
Oh, yeah?
Because I thought that I had a shift today. So I showed up and I was eager beaver, ready to go. And the HR director said, "Hey, Adrian, what are you doing here, buddy?" I was like, "What do you mean? I'm supposed to be on today, remember?" She's like, No. I sent you that text regards to next week. I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem at all." I just walk my butt down to the dispensary. I get myself a little treat, and now I'm feeling, okay, I'm all right.
It'll all be all right.
Didn't go to the bar.
Yeah, that's good.
No. This is high January, and I know a lot of the bar folks are not happy about that, but I'm a fan.
You know, there's nothing to be unhappy about. There's enough things going around where you can go and get what you want. It's not a competition, you know, if you want to chill back. And, you know, I think that a lot of the times there's a misconception where somebody will go into a smoke sesh and, you know, somebody who maybe doesn't smoke as much as the next. And there's a, you know, kind of reputation of I'm going to smoke, I'm going to get sleepy, I'm going to not talk to anyone. Right. I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna get too high. Right. There's so many things. But I mean, personally, it's always kind of got me more social. I've been able to use that in place as alcohol. I think it really just kind of, I don't know if it focuses me a little bit more. It kind of chills me out enough where that anxiety that I might have in me isn't taking that forefront. But for me, at least, I've always needed some sort of cannabis before, you know, even going out to the bar back when I used to do that. Just help chill out the whole system. You know what I mean? It doesn't get you too crazy. I found too, you don't even have to drink as much to get a little bit something, you know? But
that is true.
If people start, you know, trying to supplement, if they're trying to cut down on alcohol, start supplementing some of that with some cannabis, I'm sure you can find a very happy medium somewhere.
I like that. I like that happy medium. But I am a big fan of the high January, and I feel like, take today, for instance. I mean, I could have easily flown off the handle, but I was just like, it's just one of those things. It's a funny anecdote, and I went to the dispo and I got something for the weekend, and I'm happy. So there you go. And now I'm talking to Megan, and I'm talking to Jaunty Chad, and I'm feeling good.
Let's go.
Going to that dispensary in the afternoon is so much less sad than going to the bar in the afternoon. It's like when we were younger, right? Oh, let's go to the bar in the afternoon. Isn't that fun? And then it's a bunch of young kids sitting there with a bunch of guys in their like 60s and 70s. And they just want to be left alone. Like they don't even like want to tell stories. They just what they do. It's like they check in for their shift at that stool.
Crazy. I think that's universal too. It really is kind of crazy. I'll go to pick up like a, you know, food order or something at a bar, and the whole bar is just full of people at like 11:30 in the morning. It's insane. I mean, to each their own, but like, God bless you.
Like when I used to bartend, if it was near a construction site, okay, we'll get that. Like when they get out, like that's like a healthy afternoon sort of. Better than like the old guys sitting at the bar. But then once you get the old guys coming in, you're just like, oh God, I have to be here for them. I do, but I don't know if my soul can take this today. And then you start drinking early, and then the whole cycle goes down.
Snowballs.
So yeah, so happy to be 5 years sober.
Oh, congrats. That's awesome.
Wait, hold on, Megan. What was that again?
5 years sober.
That's what I'm talking about, Mama.
Okay, so everyone who's listening at home, they clapped. I don't know if you could hear that because I couldn't, but I saw it. I would love it if everyone at home was like, so they just got silent.
Totally.
Wow.
I left. Chad left.
That's another question. I got actually a question for the both of you. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. Potential spam. No, thank you. I got a question for the both of you.
We always think that spam has potential.
Dude, that is right there. Potential spam.
Yeah, it's positive.
You're right.
It's positive. It's positive with that big warning right there. But I got a question for you guys because I know we got to wrap up real soon. And I wanted to know, what do you think is too early? Because if a bar opens at 11:30, you know, some wake and bakes, you know, they occur, you know, as soon as your eyes open. So is there a too early ever?
For drinking or cannabis?
Cannabis.
I think if you're productive, then it's not. But if you smoke and then you do like nothing, then you might want to consider maybe starting later in the day. Yeah.
So I think that with cannabis, I've always been a big believer that environment dictates the high. So, or at least mindset. So what I mean by that is if you wake up, it's your one day off in a month and you just want to smoke and just chill out that day, wake up and take a hit. All good. You know, if, you know, you work at 9 a.m. and you wake up at 8 a.m. and start ripping dabs, you know, maybe you can handle it. Maybe, you know, if I really pulled myself together, I'm sure I could, but I think that it's, you know, whatever you're trying to do. So like you want to go on a hike and it's 9 a.m. and you want to take, you know, get kind of high before that, go for it. But I think definitely time and place. I think really super situational. But I mean, at the end of the day,
I would like to put both of your answers together. Okay. Environment dictates. And if you're going to be productive, sure. I like both aspects of that answer.
Added feelings too. If you feel like you have to smoke in order to go to work, then maybe you need a new job.
Right. But I even agree with Meg where, you know, same with that situation. There's days where I got to clean the house and first thing I want to do when I do that is wake up and smoke. So like they really can blend together pretty nicely.
Yeah.
But it's that mindset. If you have to go into me, at least I have to go into it saying I'm going to do this and then I'm going to clean. If I do that and I get sidetracked and I start scrolling and it never happens, that's where it's a problem. But if you go in, okay, smoke, clean, let's do this, you know, then that's a totally different story.
Dude. You both are like giving me life because there's nothing better. There's nothing better than having that task of like taking care of the laundry, setting the timer on your phone, and you know you got something going down. And then you're folding that warm laundry too.
I will say though, the danger for me for smoking and cleaning the house are all the side quests that end up popping up. So I'll have to go from point A to point. I got to walk into my kitchen and do dishes, but on my way to the kitchen, I see my son's toys on the ground, side mission, clean that up, you know, okay, where was I now? I'm heading into the kitchen. You're walking in there. Oh, cats need food. Boom, boom. So that's the danger because I can run into a million side quests and then spend all day doing that and then be like, oh, I never did the dishes. And then it's, you know,
see Chad, Jaunty Chad. See, you can't have side quests doing laundry in an apartment. Megan, I don't know about you, but I know in that basement of mine, if you are like 2 minutes or 2 seconds late, somebody's got their grubby hands in the dryer, in the washer, and they are just like tossing your stuff aside.
That's a good point, actually. That's very valid.
You're
Yeah.
fancy. You have it in the building? Oh, I have to go off premise. But when I put it into, I put it in the washer, and then I go for a walk for like 30-minute walk. So I'll like smoke a little bit, and I'll be like, okay. And then when I comes back, it's really exciting to put it into the dryer. Right? And then maybe I got a snack on my walk.
Oh man, snack surprises are the best.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one for you. I got one for both of you. So a couple weeks ago in the laundry room, fried out of my mind, feeling great, feeling good. Everything was on time. Everything was perfect. I get downstairs. This was a snow day. And this parent comes in with her 2 kids. I don't even know if I told this story yet. 2 kids with the snowsuits dripping wet. And she's chatting with me. And I didn't register it at all. They're getting the snowsuits off. They're rolling around the floor. And what does the mom do? She takes the snowsuits and throws them in the dryer. As I'm unloading mine, I'm like
in your dryer?
No, in another one, but still, they were just outside in the snow.
Yeah.
Just cover.
I was like, what?
I try not to think about those kind of things. It's like there's signs up at my laundromat where it's like you can't use the dryer unless you use the washer, and then you're just like that came from a situation.
That came from a situation.
Yeah.
It wasn't up there until somebody did something that warranted that sign. Yeah.
Dude, so let me ask you this now. So, like, what would be your sign for your session of that one thing that you do not do in your circle, Jaunty Chad?
Oh man. Oh wow, that's a good question.
Is it like somebody that doesn't ash before they pass, or do they start telling stories? Are they making love to the joint? They're slobbering.
Oh, okay. So I would say I had one. I do have to tack on that part. There's nothing worse than putting a wet filter into your mouth from somebody. I just like make it work. I don't know what it is. You can be aware. I don't know. So yes, that. But I would say, and this one might be kind of weird, but I don't like starting a session and leaving stuff left. So like, no half bowls, no half joint smoke. Like if we're starting something, that's going to be finished by the end of the session.
Do you think that's bad luck or something? Superstition?
It might just be part of my OCD, to be honest with you. I don't know. I think it's like, plus you mix it in, you light up a half smoking joint. It never tastes the same. It's kind of tars running through it. You almost got to just go through it. But that's always been, it's one of those things where like, it's always been in the back of my head, and I've never really like enforced it around people, but we'll kind of just like make it happen. So there's nothing left. I don't know. It bugs me. I've even, maybe it comes from, back in the day where I would spill a grinder and freak out because I had no money and tried to put it back in. And, almost like that scarcity mindset where, there's something that gets stabbed in me. If I see someone like half a joint done, they're walking and they just kind of like throw it. Like I'm done with this. I'm like, I'll take it. Like,
my!
I did that with one of my friends. She's notorious. She'll smoke half a joint and then she like goes to throw it away. And then I was like collecting them the whole day, and then putting them into like I was like, I'll smoke these later. She was like, I'll just give you one. I was like, no, you actually have given me one because you've thrown so many on the ground.
Man, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait. So how do you like re-engineer it?
What? Me?
Do you like take all of them apart and put them in a new one or something?
Oh, no. I'll just continue to smoke each of those halves, but now I have them for different times.
That's what I'm talking about.
I have little shame. I do have some shame, but
have you heard of time bombs with a bong? Have you ever done one of those?
No.
So this was my way of finishing those things back in the day. So if you have a joint that's like getting down to where you don't really want to hit anymore, you take a bong, pack it full, and then you kind of just put that joint in the middle of the bowl. So you hit it whenever the joint hits the rest of the bowl, it lights it all up. So it's almost like, does that make sense? So you got a bowl, you stick a half smoked joint, you can still pass it around, but whenever that joint finishes and hits the rest, it's almost like a time bomb because then it just kind of like lights the rest up. So we've done a lot of those before. But I low-key think it was just going back to my whole not wanting to waste anything. But
is this another party trick of yours that we don't know about, dude?
Absolutely. I got a lot of those. You know what's actually a cool one? Oh, no, go for it.
Megan, how would you introduce Jaunty Chad's latest trick?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what you are about to see will amaze your minds. But beware, for a bomb is about to explode.
So now, are you going to try to patent this or something, dude? Because I don't know. You might have to. Now, that's all yours. But I
heard it here, folks. If you hear it out there, Bake Sale Session Podcast, Jaunty Chad. That's the time I'm pointing it here.
How can we organize a date and time to try to do this? The three of us and others.
We can make it work. I can find a time. I can try to make this work. You guys are in the city too, so I know that there are times for work that I'm heading down that way. So we can definitely talk off air and see if we can put anything
we'll
together.
do your time bomb.
That's I got some other tricks I can show you guys too.
Whoa. So now wait, all the other tricks, we got to get that into a part 2, Jaunty Chad. But
yes,
first things first, I got to make sure I get everything right. Chad Kofal, field rep. No.
Field. Now I'm marketing field rep and content specialist is technically my official title with the content and everything, but I'm essentially the marketing guy for upstate or Western New York for Jaunty.
And if you're looking for content, you see these 2 squares to your, I believe, your left.
Yeah.
My left, yes.
Yes, I got it. Yes, finally, Megan, all that work on TikTok finally paid off.
Finally,
yes.
You did some TikTok. If it did something good for you,
I can figure out my left and my right on the other side. Yes. So content, we are here for you, my friend. We are. Yeah. I'm shameless.
Hell yeah.
I'm shameless.
Well, I'll say right now, my biggest plug, I'd say on Instagram, it's Jaunty_Chad. And then follow the Jaunty page. It's get_Jaunty.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how everyone out there can find Jaunty Chad. This guy is amazing. And I got to tell you, I didn't even figure out the name of this episode yet. But when I do, you will be the first one to find it, to get it. Okay? This is going to be good.
Post it everywhere.
You're amazing. Megan, you are a superstar as always.
Oh gosh, only because you make me that way.
What? Oh goodness! But again, this is how we do it, and I wanted to say thank you again, Chad. You're the best. Megan, love you. This is the Bake Sale Session, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Chad, I can't thank you enough.